Have a question? Send me a voice message by going to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/message. I'd be happy to answer your vocal questions. And who knows, your question could be featured on a future episode of The Singer's Arsenal.
Yeah, it's the Singer's Arsenal. The Singer's only. Singer's Arsenal. Singer's only.
Hey you guys, it's Kristal Cherelle from Indie Artist School. Welcome to The Singer's Arsenal. Today we're going to talk about how to be a confident performer. Now, I know that we actually talked about how to overcome your nerves in a prior episode. In fact, it was the first episode I've ever done. But I wanted to take it a step further and talk about what you can do to actually build your confidence. It's one thing to let go of nerves, and it's an entirely different thing to embrace your confidence. So I'm going to give you 5 tips that will help you become a more confident performer. Number 1, you've got to develop positive self-talk. Self-talk actually has to do with what it is you're telling yourself in your mind about yourself. So it's a narrative that you create about who you think you are. And a lot of times when your self-talk is negative, circumstances and things that happen in your life give you the opportunity to create a narrative or an idea about what that experience means to you and what that means about you. And when you have negative self-talk, you lean towards negative meanings, negative interpretations. It over-identifies with bad things and not giving yourself enough credit for the things that are actually going well. So one of the things that you can do to turn that train around, like let's say you made a mistake vocally. Well, instead of saying, see, I'm never going to get this right, I'm not a good singer. See, what you've done there is you've identified yourself as someone who is not a good singer, rather than saying, I made a mistake, how can I correct it? The second one doesn't say whether or not you're a good singer or a bad singer. The mistake has nothing to do with that. The mistake is the opportunity that you're given to actually make a difference. And choosing how you think about yourself really dictates how successful you're going to be in your attempts to correct the mistake. You see, what happens when you say, I'm not a good singer, and that's why I made the mistake, the next time an opportunity comes up where you can try something a little bit risky with your voice, you're going to avoid it altogether because you've told yourself that you're a bad singer who makes mistakes. When the truth is, that's not even what's happening. You're overanalyzing your mistakes to mean that that's who you are. When the truth is, you are a vocalist who is working on improving yourself. That's the truth. You're a singer who is correcting mistakes. You can change your whole narrative just by shifting how you choose to respond. All right, and so the second thing you can do to become a more confident singer is have mental resilience. So did you see how the self-talk can kind of steer you towards giving up or overcoming every obstacle? So when you have positive self-talk, it actually helps you have more mental resilience. Mental resilience is not necessarily about whether or not you have a strong mind. More so, it's about you've become used to overcoming difficulties. You've become used to working through problems rather than avoiding them. And it does give you a bit of mental toughness. It also applies to your personal development. This applies to your relationships. This applies to your career and how you perceive what you're doing. So one of the things about being a vocalist, and I've said this before as an independent artist, It's a tough game, okay? It's not easy. It's not a path that's for everyone. Just because you sing doesn't necessarily mean you should have a career in music, but maybe you do choose to do that. And if you do, first of all, round of applause. You have become brave. You chose something against all odds. Good job. Now you got to build your mental resilience and understand that you're going to fall a lot. You're going to fail a lot, and that's part of the process. So every time you get the opportunity to get back up again, count that as a point for your mental resilience. All right, and the third thing that you need to develop to become a more confident singer is to know your why. Knowing why you sing really changes how you view the people you're performing for and how you view your entire career. When you know your reason, it helps you put things in perspective. It helps you realize that, hey, this one little mistake is not that big of a deal. It's a drop in the bucket of my entire reasoning for being here and singing. And you might also realize, hey, this gig or this event or this thing that happened in the past, somebody said something negative about what you were doing. Well, hey, how important is that compared to the reason why you sing? You pit those two things against each other, it's inconsequential. It doesn't even matter. Negative comments don't matter. None of that stuff matters because you realize, hey, I'm here to sing because this is what I was born to do, and no one can change my mind. You know your own purpose in life. You know what's fulfilling for you. So make sure that you remember that every time you come into a hard or difficult situation. I know we're talking about becoming a better vocalist and singing with more confidence. It's just amazing to me how much these tips actually apply to your daily life. You're going to start realizing the more confident you are as a singer, the more confident you are as a person. This is really good to help you have overall confidence in who you are, knowing your purpose, and not being afraid to express yourself. Because what is it we're afraid of most of the time? Criticism? Failing? What does that even mean? That leads us into the next step, which is change your perception. Changing your perception can really help you build your confidence for more than one reason. The first reason it can help you build your confidence is that it helps you understand that the people out there who come to see you perform or, click on your video and want to hear you sing, a lot of times their reasoning is to actually support you. They want to be entertained. Most people want to enjoy something. They're searching for something. And when we go to musicians and we listen to them sing, we want to feel something. And so when you realize that, it helps you understand that your purpose and their purpose actually aligns. You guys both want to feel something. You want to express something and they want to feel something. You want to help other people feel. Well, then guess what? You guys are on the same team. Goodness gracious, there's nothing really to be afraid of. When you realize that the people who support you strongly and greatly outnumber the people who are trolls or have negative criticism or don't necessarily like what you're doing, you realize how much more important it is that you keep going and do what you do best. And another thing that does, changing your perception also allows you to be able to compartmentalize. So you're able to, shift your focus to the present moment and then shift your focus to the bigger picture as needed. You can break it down as small as you want. All I'm going to focus on right now is I really want to get through this phrase today. Or you could say, you know what? I want to release my own album by 2022, and right now everything I'm doing is leading towards that. Then you can change your perception and how you feel in that present moment. Another thing that I think will help you with changing perception and build your confidence is to get a sheet of paper out and write down all of your accomplishments that you've done so far. It doesn't even have to be as a singer, just things that you're proud of yourself for. And the reason why I want you to do this is I want you to start noticing the patterns of what that says about your character and who you are. Okay? This is a really good exercise, guys. I really want you to do this because not only will you notice a pattern of all the things you're proud of yourself for, maybe they're in different areas of your life, but the theme is you did it. And with that being said, it means that no matter what you do, you're going to be there with yourself. And when you see that you are capable of achieving the things that you desire, you're going to realize that learning how to transform your voice and sing and accomplish your vocal goals is just another thing that you can add to your list. It will help you build your confidence in knowing that you actually already have a track record of winning. You just have to look back and see what those wins are. Write them down. Look at them. Say, I am a winner. I am someone who knows how to achieve what I want. I know that I am capable of overcoming any obstacle that comes my way. And I know this sounds a little bit like some motivational talk and all of that, but confidence is everything, you guys. That's why I think positive reinforcement for yourself is really good. Write those down, look at those accomplishments, and know that you got this. You know, it's funny, the more confident you are in yourself, the more confident you are in other people too. And people can see that. And it really does help you become more impactful in everything that you do. I want you to know that you're actually pretty amazing already. No matter who you are, there's probably a few things that you've done that you can say you're pretty proud of. Okay. The fifth thing that you need to do to become a more confident singer, be receptive to feedback. So remember how I talked about mental resilience? Well, here's the deal. Mental resilience and your self-talk comes to play when you get feedback, right? So even changing your perception, honestly, all of these things really work together. It's really amazing. So say you get some negative feedback. Instead of thinking of it as negative feedback, if you remember who you are and what you're capable of, you should know that this is an opportunity for you to have a new accomplishment, especially if the negative feedback or criticism is something that is useful for you. And if you're not sure whether or not it is, go ahead and check out my other episode about handling criticism. It's a really good episode if you struggle with that. But actually being able to handle criticism well is actually one of the key factors that allows you to become a lot more confident in yourself, because when you handle criticism well and you put it into action and you achieve that goal, well, first of all, it shows that you can do the things that others thought you couldn't. It shows to you that you can do the things that you literally couldn't do before. And therefore you start building even more of a track record of getting up after you fall. In fact, the more times you fall, the more confident you're going to be, especially if you have a habit of getting back up and being better when you do. Okay, then you're really ready. Okay, like nobody can stop you. You're going to be able to accomplish so much more than you've ever imagined. Okay, so those are the things that you can do to build your confidence as a singer. I know that a lot of this stuff can actually apply to all areas of your life, but you know what? Just focus on one area for now. Just focus on applying this to how you view yourself as a vocalist, and then you'll start seeing it bleed over into other things in your life. So let's go back over those 5 things. Number 1, positive self-talk. Number 2, mental resilience. Number 3, know your why. Number 4, change your perception. Number 5, be receptive to feedback. If you'd like vocal lessons, go ahead and visit my website, indieartistschool.com. I give virtual lessons one-on-one on Zoom. And I also have an online course called the Indie Artist Toolkit, where I teach you the beginnings of how to sing, as well as how to release your own music as an independent artist. That's indieartistschool.com. Also, I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting this podcast. I really couldn't do it without you guys. And some of you guys are even taking it another step further and donating to this podcast. If you'd like to donate to this podcast, go to anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. That's anchor.fm/thesingersarsenal/support. Well, you guys, until next time, have a wonderful day.
Yeah. It's a singer.